It's America at Night with Rich Valdez.
Final question. If you went home tonight and Mayor Powell, your spouse, said, I got a call today from our bank, and they're debanking us. They're worried about their reputational risk because they don't like our politics. Would you think that fair?
No, I sure wouldn't. And as I mentioned earlier, I too am troubled by the quantity of these reports, and really want to understand better why this is happening. One theory is that banks are just very risk averse around BSA and money laundering, and that's because we're so tough on them, and that they just don't. Any red flag is enough.
All right, America, welcome back. I can't help but laugh at that clip, but you're sitting there watching the former Treasury Secretary talk about money laundering and this and that, and this is over debanking people, right? Deplatforming conservatives, Christians, and others that decide to bank somewhere, and because these banks don't like what they're saying or what they're doing, they're not giving them the opportunity to go ahead and do what they do and do business there. Folks, welcome back. It's Rich Valdez. I'm live with you till 1 a.m. Eastern time, midnight in some areas. And it's my great pleasure. I want to welcome somebody who went through this, and somebody for years I've seen speaking. He's a prolific speaker. He's fantastic. I had no idea he'd gone through this. And when I saw that he did, I said, man, we've got to have this conversation. Nick Vujicic is a renowned speaker, and he's with us today. Nick, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
You bet. Now, for the listeners who don't know about Nick V Ministries and other work that you're doing, tell us a little bit about what you're doing, how you're generating money that you were trying to, do your business with, and then what happened as a result.
Well, look, with 16 million social media fans, I've gone to 84 countries, met 35 presidents and prime ministers, and actually was able to address 10 national governments around the world over the last 20 years. NickVMinistries.org is a 501c3 nonprofit organization where I get to preach the gospel. But then I had a for-profit company called Attitude is Altitude, which enabled me to go to countries like Russia, China 46 times, Iran, go in as a Trojan horse and do motivational speaking on the circuit against bullying in schools, helping people in government actually change their mind about unborn babies not being viable because of their disability. So that company in itself, I became vocal in standing up for life. And as a conservative Christian, that I would be labeled as such in America. By the way, in the Bible, there's no word called conservative. You either believe or you don't. And I wasn't going out of my way to go put people down whatsoever. But on that wave of quite a lot of sensitive topics that were happening in our country the last 4 years, without me doing anything, I was targeted and framed quite predominantly as anti-LGBTQ, and went viral on a gay magazine, being falsely accused of firing someone for being gay. And that canceled all of my corporate clients. I actually became the top 1% speaker under age 40 in the world.
Wow.
I have 35,000 invitations for me to speak. And so all of my contracts for that year pretty much canceled. And then the bank that I was banking with for 15 years woke up one morning, my for-profit and personal accounts, our credit card, debit card, accounts, credit line, everything under the sun, under those two things were just frozen. Called them up and they said, "Sir, we cannot talk to you." I said, "What do you mean you can't talk to me?" This is April 2019, before cancel culture was coined. And they said, "There's a letter coming." And simply the letter said, "We reviewed who you are in our annual customer review. We don't want you. You've got 30 days to move your money to another bank. And if you don't, we're going to take your cash." Wow. And so that was April 2019.
Folks, we're on with Nick Vujicic, and as you can see, he's doing his thing. He's making money. He's out there. He's. I'm surprised that they would let you into a school after, people know about your ministry work. I think a lot of schools are not always willing to play ball, but it's amazing that you had that opportunity. And now here they are blackballing you. What is it that they say that you did? Was it a scriptural reference or just the fact that you're a Christian? Why did they say you're anti-LGBTQ? They
refused to comment. They refused to ever explain as to why. Look, under the Constitution, I've been everywhere, dude. I know what it means from a public school point of view that, if I say the word Jesus, it's a swear word. I didn't go out there offending anybody, if that's what anyone's asking me. No, I was even blackballed and actually canceled out of 2 school districts in Texas the last 12 months for being pro-Israel. So, bro, it's amazing the climate of people everywhere where those of us who have influence, those of us who are not trying to go out of our way to put down people, but to be vocal and say what you feel when it comes to Israel, shouldn't cancel a 15,000 pupil speech in a school district in Dallas. And so it's perplexing. And no, they did not actually give me any answer whatsoever. Wow.
So you start losing clients. Then after you lose the clients and they pull these contracts, then you lose the banking. How do you bounce back from that? Obviously, it didn't stop you, right? You're still here.
You know what? That's why I'm thankful that me and my family, we're blessed to have learned about real estate. I've been in real estate since 2002. I've been on stocks since as a 16-year-old, actually. In 1999, 1998, I've been trading stocks. And so I knew what to go through. But you know what happened also to speaking with the COVID went to zero. So imagine this. I've got employees. The only way that we could actually sustain everyone, that first $500,000 in 2019, was I had to liquidate some real estate. 2020, liquidate more real estate. 2021, I was a stock trader, full-time stock trader for 6 months, and I made all the money we needed. And I'm so thankful that we had the cash, we had the education, we knew how to pivot, and learning how to trade stocks, and had the real estate portfolio to lean upon. It was hard, bro. I had a credit line, a credit score that I've never heard of before. We normally get 3 triple digits. I had 2 dashes. And the 1 triple digit I had was 220 points lower. Wow. I started like on a nanny level of credit score. I mean, I started from the beginning. I couldn't get a loan. I couldn't get anything. I mean, it was rough. I started on a secured credit card, bro. A secured credit card.
It worked. You've come a long way.
It was rough. And, people don't understand, though. In banking, too, what I learned, I want you to know, I'm a Christian. I'm pro-life. I believe that every unborn child should be born. And I apologize to all the women who have unexpected pregnancies where the church is not already at a point where we should have already helped 500,000 foster kids and adopted kids waiting for an adopted and foster home. My family and I, we're adopting a baby next year. So we're not just
Congratulations.
Talking the talk. We're going to walk the walk. But, first and foremost, I apologize for that. But here this is, can you imagine all the people that actually are conservative Christians? All the churches, the Orthodox, the Catholic, the Protestants, all of us, and all the Christian schools, and all the money, all these big banks, they actually philanthropically give to things that you actually are against. Right. And so what we found out in 2018 was Chase, Wells, Bank of America, couple other big banks, all of our banks, all the big banks, they actually philanthropically fund organizations that are against our biblical worldview.
We continue our conversation with Nick Vujicic. He was blackballed, deplatformed, debanked, blacklisted for being pro-life, for being a Christian, for allegedly being LGBTQ antagonist, according to some. and they made his life very difficult. Not to mention, it was already difficult, right? He came up from a very, very difficult situation.
I have no limbs, by the way. I have no limbs. For anyone who's just on audio, talk about something else.
You know what, Nick? You're right. This is a big radio show, and people who don't realize I'm talking to a man that has no limbs. Tell us about that, and then we'll get to where you're at with banking and how you came on the other side of that.
Well, look, I was born without limbs, 1982 in Australia, to migrant parents who fled communism regime of former Yugoslavia in the 1960s. Both of my grandfathers were in jail for their faith. Wow. They came to Australia with nothing. They had me as their firstborn son. No medical reason as to why I was born this way without limbs. Brother and sister born after me with limbs. Suicidal at age 10. Didn't believe that God had a plan for me, or he wasn't fair, or he wasn't real. Age 15, gave my life to Jesus. Everything changed around, and realized I can still have a pair of shoes in my closet and still pray for arms and legs today, which I do have. I actually have 2 pairs of shoes, one for running, one for dancing, in case it gives me arms and legs. But I'm also not waiting for a miracle to be a miracle. So I've actually been able to travel all around the world. 2.6 billion people around the world know, about 30% of the world know about my story, and 1 in 10 have heard the gospel of Jesus Christ through Nick V Ministries.
That's amazing. And again, I didn't know that you'd gone through all of this political pressure and wokeism and all that. What I did know about you was that you had no limbs, and I'd seen you on TBN and seen you for many years doing a lot of great ministry work. And forgive me to the audience who may not have recognized your name and can't hear you and didn't know your story. But yet Nick Vujicic, no limbs, and he's kicking butt, even though he's got no limbs. Now, let's talk about how you proverbially here are kicking butt and kicking back with this problem that you faced of being debanked. What did you do?
So what was interesting, I came across somebody called Betsy Gray in 2015. I spoke for her, a nonprofit a fundraising gala at Network Medical in Santa Barbara. She was CEO for many, many years, helping abortion-determined women receive an ultrasound for free, and they're in 7 out of 10 choosing life. Spoke at the gala, became friends. 2018, she was the first person in my circles to find out that banks actually fund Planned Parenthood and other alike abortion organizations. She was horrified, and she asked God, what do you want me to do? And God told her, start my own banking solution that doesn't do that. So she called me. We did calls. February 2019, she said, would you like to be my co-founder? I said, let me pray about it. 8 weeks later, I got kicked out of my own bank. God spoke to me and said, are you now ready to do it? That's how it happened. Wow. So didn't have any background in banking, even though I got accounting and financial planning and investments behind me underneath my belt. 42 years of age, didn't know anything about banking. I learned it. We got it. We got an incredible co-founder, Charles White. We have an incredible charter sponsor, Regent Bank. They have one in Frisco, Texas, Oklahoma, couple other locations, including other states. And they are our charter sponsor. So we couldn't raise $80 million to actually buy out a brick and mortar, but there's a thing called Fintech. So ProLifeFinTech.com is our homepage. Our whole story is there. Banking on purpose, the DNA, why we are different, our competitive rates as an online banking solution for everyone, where we're not going to cancel you because of your stance on anything. You're lesbian, you're gay, you want to open up, no problem. But no conservative Christian is going to be debanked or canceled. We don't think that's constitutional. We love everyone. And so we love everyone. And so that's what we're supposed to do. So ProLifeFinTech was open on the 30th of November, 2024 for personal accounts, checking, savings, money market accounts. All that's there. ATM, you can get any withdrawal for free. You need a big withdrawal, we'll get that to you, whatever that looks like. It's an online banking platform for those who are a little bit less privy to online banking. A lot of people are going that way. People ask us, do we get FDIC insurance for the account? Yes, because the charter sponsor umbrella of the FDIC also covers the clients, as we are just almost if you will, it's a sponsoring fintech partnership with the sponsorship that we've got from Regent Bank. We're thankful for them. And in May, June, we are widely open for corporate accounts. And that's where churches are coming, Christian schools are coming, big things are coming. And we're so excited. We have roughly 650 clients right now, and we're thankful for that. And if you live in the Dallas area, March 8th at 6 p.m., the doors are open for cocktail hour and hors d'oeuvres, heavy hors d'oeuvres. Charlie Kirk's going to be there. General Flynn's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Kevin Freeman's going to be there. Jacob Boyd's going to be there. We're going to have a night of celebration for the opening and to give God glory. And tickets are $99 at plfgrandopening.com.
Now, Nick, I want to just clarify. So with a fintech organization like you've started, how does this differ from a traditional like savings and loan SNL or a credit union?
You know, it's not a credit union. It's more of a banking system. We don't personally yet offer loans, but anything that you need that we can't do, you can email us and we can refer Regent's services for you as a full service alternative, while we are also growing and morphing.
Got it. So right now you can open personal accounts, and you said you can also open business accounts.
Business accounts in May, June of 2025.
May, June. Oh, it's just around the corner. Excellent. Now, for people that want to attend your event or open a personal account, give them the website again, where to go to learn more about your work and everything they need to know.
Yep. If you want to go to the informational site, ProLifeFinTech.com, you can then click at the top of that website, open an account, go through that, and have a look at that. If you want to join us, tickets are limited, but please bring everyone along. $99. Charlie Kirk, General Flynn. You go to plfgrandopening.com.
Well, folks, we're on 2 large stations in the Dallas area. I want to encourage everybody listening, if you can be there, to be there. Sounds like a bunch of great patriots. If I can be there, I'll be there too. I'm in New York, but I love Dallas. And Nick, I want to thank you for being here with us and sharing your story. It's a really an amazing story, right? Both of the stories, the beginning part of the story, the second half after they try to knock you down, and how you're coming back with this fintech solution. It really is inspiring. Godspeed, my brother.
Thank you very much. And thank you for your time, and God bless all your listeners.